All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight we are going to be discussing men have always been fixers and modern day women don't really appreciate this. So stick around and find out exactly what I'm talking about. Late Night with Coach Eli starts right now. Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. You do all of that and you're set to go. You won't miss a thing, even when I go live in the middle of the night. But you can also catch the replay if you can't make it, and that notification will take you to the replay if you weren't able to make it to the live stream. All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good day, depending on where you're at. How are you all doing? We're not going to have that many people on right now because not many people are expecting me to go live. I basically took the last 24 hours or so off because I was working on some things. Let me just check something real quick here before I get into it. And if anyone's out there, I want to do a sound check because I have been tweaking with my audio settings and it took me a full day to figure it out. I used a different plugin. Hopefully there won't be as many glitches or any glitches like there have been in the past during some of my streams. You know, every so often you'll hear a blip, 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 and you hear this happen on other people's streams as well. But there is a way that you can solve it, and it's kind of a tedious process, and that's what I invested the last 24 hours in figuring out. Doing a lot of testing, trial and erroring, and then getting some sleep in between. So that's pretty much how I spent my Saturday. Let's see, we've got 7 people in the box right now. It is 5:20 a.m. Oh, Devil's Queen's in the house. How you doing, Devil's Queen? How's it going? The audio sounds good. It's not choppy. It's pretty clear. There aren't any glitches or anything. I want you to be honest because I'll go back and check out the replay anyway. And I'll make any further tweaks that I feel I need to make. But I think I have it set as best as it's ever going to get. So anyway, what are you doing up so late, Devil's Queen? Are you interested in the topic? It's a great topic, isn't it? And I don't know how long I'm going to be on for tonight or this morning. Probably an hour, hour and a half max, because I just want to get to the point, and I want to give as many people as possible the opportunity to view this on the replay. I know right now that people are home, in spite of the coronavirus pandemic. There are 6 times as many videos being viewed on YouTube. So, I mean, you have many choices. I don't want to, force you to watch a 2 or 3 hour stream every night. Every so often, we're going to do those long streams because they're worth it for our community. But I want to put this stream out here tonight, as a general stream, as an evergreen content type of stream where everyone can learn from this. Whether you're male or female, even if you're gay or lesbian or bi or trans, it doesn't matter. Relationship dynamics are relationship dynamics. And in every single relationship, even in, gay and lesbian relationships, there's always one side that is exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy. And that's what we're going to primarily be discussing here today. Now, I've talked about this a bunch in the past, but I have a story to share with you folks tonight. It's a pretty interesting story that just happened earlier today while I stepped out of my place to run to my local gas station and get some snacks and some Red Bulls. So I was talking with the clerk, and it was a pretty interesting story. I know all the clerks at this particular gas station I go to. I've been going there since I've been driving over 25 years. So Devil's Queen says insomnia. Well, that's not good, but I understand it. I'm glad I could be here for you and give you a good show in the middle of the night. Are you watching this in 1080p glorious HD and high quality sound on your TV? Devil's Queen, aka Jennifer, let me know. How's the quality? I'm sure it's phenomenal, right? And just remember to everyone in the chat, when I do my in-studio streams, I do use normal latency, so there is a 25-second delay between what I say and what you hear. So I can understand that you're not going to respond right away, and if you ask me a question, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to get back to you. So anyway, all right, 10 people in the box. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, by the way, I want to show with you folks, I want to share with you folks what I'm trying to say. The picture in my background today, I took this picture of a woman kicking back, sitting on the dock of the bay, right? Well, that's probably not the bay. It's some body of water nearby where she lives. But she's sitting out there all alone and just enjoying the beautiful scenery. But if I had to guess, she's probably single and probably wishing that some wonderful man that understood her and accepted her for who she is would sweep her off her feet. A real genuine man, a man that's not only going to be interested in one thing like most men are, But yeah, I felt that this background, made a lot of sense regarding the topic I'm going to be discussing here tonight. And Devil's Queen says, yes, you are all clear and HD good. That's right, it's fiber. 1,000 up, 1,000 down. Love AT&T fiber. 1,000 up, 1,000 down for $80 a month. I keep saying it, Jennifer Devil's Queen, when fiber first came into my area a little over a year ago, I was one of the first people to get it. I've been waiting for the day that fiber comes into my area. Colin's Trivia's in the house. Hey, Colin. How you doing, Colin Butters? How you been, bro? We got to catch up soon. Thank you so much for being here. How are things going in your neck of the woods? Do you plan on doing any live streams anytime soon? Colin, if it's cool with you, I'm not sure if I already added you or not. I need to add you to the private hangout discussion that we have going on behind the scenes with all the moderators. So let me know if that's okay with you. And if you get overwhelmed with any messages, folks, you can always turn off notifications so that way your phone's not going off and you're not hearing that crazy blip sound when you're on your computer. You can always turn notifications on and off when you feel like it. So anyway, Colin's Trivia says, I'm cool. Well, that's great. Great to hear that, man. How's your new leg doing, bro? You feeling pretty good about it? You getting around easy? Let me know. You have added me? Okay, great. Awesome. I thought I did. I just wanted to make sure, bro. You're a part of the team, and I wanted to recognize you and appreciate you as well, man. So before I get to the topic, the last 24 hours have been very interesting. Like I said, I've been trying to increase my audio to the maximum level possible. But I also started noticing more audio blips and glitches every so often when I would go back and watch my replays. And you folks are actually hearing that as it goes out live. And I take great pride in providing not only good and great content, but great audio and video. So I was playing around with some new plugins, and in order to test everything out, and what I had to go through to test it out is crazy. I had to run a couple of private live streams that I was, watching on my phone because, I wanted to see how it would go out to YouTube. I wanted to figure out every single issue I had, so that way the next time I go live, the end result would be just an awesome show where we can hang out and there are no audio and video issues. Now, every now and then, the YouTube server will, kick me off of their servers, and OBS will tell me that I use open broadcast software to run these streams, but it usually connects right away. Besides that, I think the audio issue has been solved. I've done 3 miles in one day and getting well with it. I'm thinking of doing a quick live later. Well, yeah, do me a favor, Colin. Can you promote your live streams through that Hangout chat with the other moderators before you go live? Give us a few hours in advance at least so we can get on over there and support you. And eventually, folks, when I've been working a lot of behind the scenes stuff lately. When all that's taken care of and I have a little more free time, I'm going to start promoting all of your live streams on my community tab. So if anybody would like me, this is for the moderators for right now, but down the road, I'll promote even just regular consumers of content if they have a YouTube channel, or if they're not, or if they're a YouTuber that's not a moderator, which is what I'm trying to say. Just let me know if you want me to share one of your, or any of your live streams on my community tab, but you got to give me some advance notice so we get people there. Is he in the U.S. with us, Eli? No, he's not. Colin Butters is in the UK, the United Kingdom. Yeah, I met him through the Growth Stream community. Great guy. Great guy who basically had to have his leg amputated late last year. And because of that, his wife fell out of love with him because he's going to have a prosthetic leg. It was a sad story, but he was very open and honest and transparent. He shared it in the chat several months ago, and he now has his new leg, and he's doing quite well, and I'm quite proud of him. So, yeah, he's in the UK. So yeah, so it took me like 24 hours to actually figure this out, because I had to keep restarting. I had to keep doing private live streams to test the audio and the video, make sure it's in sync, make sure there are no glitches, make sure the audio is not too soft, but also not too loud. When the audio is too loud, you get what's called a hot mic, and you get distortion, and then you start getting pops. If it's too soft, then, people can't hear you. They have to fluctuate their volume. I also have a plugin that automatically levels my voice while I'm live on the air. So you folks have to understand, a lot of the stuff I'm doing live here, I'm providing the same quality as a pre-recorded video that would be edited in post-production, and the audio would be leveled off and fixed in post-production. When you're doing things live, you got to have everything set, because once it goes out, it goes out. So I have this program that allows me to, use noise reduction. It allows me to level off my voice. It allows my my microphone to not go beyond a certain volume level, so you don't get into that clipping. And it just takes a lot of time to configure all of that. So anyway, the Devil's Queen says, in the Hangouts with the rest of our mods. Is he in with us, Eli? Yes, he is, the Devil's Queen. And we're going to continue adding more people that hang out. Eventually, Devil's Queen, I really want to start getting people over to Discord. I want to start moving. We can still talk on Hangouts, but I want to start moving the moderator-only chat to my Discord, and then start getting some regular consumers of content in the general part of the Discord. Within the Discord, we're going to have, it's already there. There's a mod-only chat where only moderators plus myself have access to. And then the general chat, everyone will have access to. So I am in there. The Devil's Queen says Colin's Trivia, a.k.a. Colin Butters. All right. So let's get right to it because I don't want to be on for too terribly long. The topic of tonight's stream, or this morning's stream, because it's the middle of the night, is men have always been fixers, and modern day women don't appreciate this. Late Night with Coach Eli. One more time. Men have always been fixers, and modern day women don't appreciate this. Now, I didn't have enough space to put some or many modern day women don't appreciate this, because I know there are women out there that do appreciate this still, and you are one of them, Devil's Queen. And I wanted to make that very clear because I have a lot of respect for you. I do appreciate you and respect you for the good woman you are. But at the same time, I'm sure you understand that not every woman is like you. Not every man is like me. Not every man or woman is a good person or does the right things, right? Or have the right intentions, right? So, that's why I wrote the topic that way. And I'll tell you what inspired me to talk about this tonight. Number one, I've talked about this in the past. And if there's one topic that I'm more passionate about than anything else, it is talking about male and female relationship dynamics in this crazy modern world we live in of feminism and radical feminism. Devil's Queen says, does he not talk because I don't see him? Oh yeah, Eli, I know, says the Devil's Queen. No, I know you know. I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, we have 16 in the box right now. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I'll look right now. He should be on the list. Yeah, no, he's there. He's there. Colin's Trivia is in the Hangout. He just hasn't probably talked yet because he's probably not always on Hangout. But he can come and go as he wishes. Anyway. So, give me a second here. Give me just 1 second. All right. Excuse me. So what inspired me to talk about this topic tonight regarding men have always been fixers? Well, number one, men have always been fixers. And women have always looked up to us, more so in the past before they were liberated. Women have looked up to us for our physical strength, our emotional strength, and our strength overall, right? And our abilities to fix things, right? That back in those days, at least, women were not capable of doing or just had no interest in doing, right? Nowadays, there are women that, do manly things, and that's okay. No disrespect. But back in the days of traditionalism, which is how life was meant to be by a higher power, the man would, okay, Colin just actually messaged us in the group chat. Now, I'm going to turn notifications off on that chat, and I'll turn it back on after the show, because if I don't, then every time one of you communicates, because I have that separate browser open in case someone needs to reach out to me on Hangouts or wants to come on the show, it'll come through. So I just turned off the notifications, and I'll check out the chat and turn back on notifications afterwards. But that's great that you're in there. So yeah, like I was saying, back in the days, men were the ones that would be the providers. They would go to work, they would bust ass, make the money, and the women were the home makers, home keepers. They would take care of the kids, cook dinner, vacuum, back in those days they didn't have vacuums. Part of those days they did, but before modern appliances, were available, women would, make their own brooms, and they would keep the place clean. And that was pretty much all women had to do back then. It was a lot of work. Both men and women have always had a lot of responsibilities within their gender roles. But because, women have been liberated and the modern world has changed, there really is no such thing as gender roles anymore. But again, women have always looked up to a man for a man's strength. And it's not saying that women are not capable of doing certain things that only men can do. And it's not saying that women are weaker than men or this and that. Men and women are biologically different. That's the bottom line. Men and women are biologically different. Men were made to be stronger physically, and women were made to be more of the nurturers. They would have more of the thinner body styles. The men would have the bigger body frame, right? It's kind of like when I'm on the walking trails and the hiking trails, Devil's Queen Jennifer and Colin's Trivia. When you see the male and the female goose, which one is bigger? Like the male goose is literally almost twice the size of the female goose, right? That's just biology. Men have typically always been bigger and physically stronger than women. That is the way that men and women were biologically designed to be, right? And I'm being very clear and very specific here because I'm not looking to offend any women out there that are thinking I'm going off on a rant about women. I'm not. I'm just stating the facts of how things are in the modern world. So because of that, and also what happened earlier tonight when I drove down to my local gas station to get a few snacks and some Red Bulls, because I knew I was going to be up late. I had just finished fixing my computer and getting everything all set. I knew I was going to do a late night stream, and because I kind of slept much later than normal yesterday, I knew I was going to be awake and I wanted to get this stream out. So I went down to the gas station and, all the clerks know me at this gas station. And the clerk that was there this time is like a 25 to 30-year-old, young, really cool African-American dude. He's a really good guy. And he's like, "Hey man, you mind if I ask you a couple questions?" I'm like, "Sure, man." It was like 9:30 in the evening, so it was slow. There was no one else there. I was in no hurry to, get anywhere. I was just gonna go back to my place and start preparing for my stream. I said, "Yeah, go right ahead." And he told me, he goes, I'm having some problems with my baby's mama. And, we used to be in a relationship. We kind of split up, and I've been trying to work things out. I've been trying to, be a good dude to her, but it just seems like, no matter how good I am, it's just not good enough. I'm like, dude, dude, I started laughing because I'm like, I've been through that with every single woman I've ever been with, whether they're a good or a bad woman, right? And I know this guy's younger than me, right? And when I was his age, I didn't really understand this as well as I get it now, that women are emotional beings and they're going to respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And in many cases, what they're reacting to doesn't even involve you. But because you happen to be there, you're the closest thing to a punching bag. And sometimes women will use you as a punching bag, even if you've done nothing wrong. Colin's Trivia. I do like BBWs. God, Colin. Hey, Cherry Giggles, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Hey, how did you find out about this channel? I'm looking at your channel right now. I have the Go to Channel plugin. Are you a part of the Growth Stream community by any chance? Because I've never heard of you, and I'm not subscribed to you. I will subscribe to you. I'd like to get to know you a little bit more, though. Let me know how you found out about this channel. Are you a part of the growth stream community? Have you been over to Pusha Studios, Island Life Fishing, Killer Whale, or Tree Trimmer 82's channels? Or did you just find this through search? I love the channel name, by the way. It's a great channel name. And you're in Australia, so it's probably morning time there for you. It's morning time there for you. Give me just 1 second. No, I'm not part of the growth stream. No, I'm curious how you found out about this this channel. And Devil's Queen, can you do me a favor? I know you know how to moderate the channel more so than Colin. Can you make sure the channel stays clean? We're starting to get some trolls coming in, and you can kind of tell which ones are trolls. I mean, I'm looking them up with the Go to Channel plugin and just banning them. But yeah, if you know for a fact that they're trolls, just go ahead and ban them. I'm going to go subscribe to you and bang the bell, select all notifications, Cherry Giggles. And your description says Cherry Giggles is all about creating a positive community. That's what I'm all about. That's great. I'll be sure to check you out. I'm glad you got recommended this. No, I know you're not a troll. You got 1.4K subs. You've got real videos on your channel. And even though the go-to channel feature is no longer available through YouTube, there's a plugin called Go-To Channel that you can actually call it. It's an extension that you can add to Google Chrome and get that feature back. So I'm looking at your channel right now, and I've subscribed and banged the bell. Do you ever go live on your channel? I'm looking, and I don't think you go live. But yeah, you have a lot of videos that are from 8 months ago, a year ago. Have you stopped creating for a little while? I'm just curious to know. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Anyway. I'm sorry. I'm not going to even mention what I'm laughing at. I only have mobile Eli. Yeah, no worries, Devil's Queen. No worries. If you know for a fact that they're trolling accounts, which you can tell by the name, go ahead and ban them. If not, leave it for me, and I'll check out their channel in between what I discuss here, and then I'll ban them myself. Not a big deal. We're all good. So anyway. So yeah, the dude at the gas station was sharing with me that he's trying to reconcile, work things out with, the mother of his child. Now, I didn't get into too much detail. Maybe I'll ask him next time. That the mother probably has custody of the child more often than he does. And that's just how the system goes most of the time. Even if the man is able to do his part, most courts, most family courts will give custody or more custody or even full custody to the mother over the father. And that's, part of the issues I have with the system when it comes to this modern world of, radical feminism and feminism in general. And he was telling me that, he was, he bought this new car and he needed to take it in, for some work on it, for a couple, 2-3 days. And because he can't be without a car for a couple, 2-3 days, he wanted to get a rental. And he was telling me, he was sharing this story with, his baby's mama. And he was saying that I couldn't get the rental because they changed their rules, and I didn't have a certain document or something on my car or something. I can't remember what it was. I don't remember what he didn't have, but I know that most rental car places now, most rental car businesses need additional information, and if you don't have that, then they're not going to rent to you. I just can't remember exactly what it was that he didn't have, but he's waiting to get it so he can rent a car and take his regular car in for servicing. When he shared this story with his, baby's mama that he's trying to work things out with, he told me she started yelling at him. She started, attacking him, not physically, but verbally. She started going off on him. And he asked me, why do you think she went off on me? And you know what I told him? I said, dude, because she's a woman. And he starts looking at me and goes, well, I understand that. And I said, well, dude, listen, I know I'm a little bit older than you. When I was your age, I didn't understand this. What you have to understand, first and foremost, is that women are emotional beings. And women, respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And that also includes reacting to you emotionally, even if what she's reacting to has nothing to do with you. That's just how all women are. That's how they were biologically made to be by a higher power that I believe to be God. Now, you may believe it's somebody else, but I believe it to be God, right? He goes, dude, I'm a good guy. I've helped this woman out. I've helped uplift her. I've helped her get her life back on track. And this is how she treats me. And you know what I told him? And this is where I got the idea of this topic here. Okay? This is where I got the idea of this topic. I said, dude, every single one of my ex-girlfriends, the majority of them were good. And I have nothing bad to say about any of them. But every single one of my ex-girlfriends, I was the fixer in the relationship. I helped them accomplish whatever they wanted to accomplish. And, I've never been selfish in any one of my relationships. But look at me now, dude. I helped all of these women that I dated, accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. And now they're off banging some other dude. And I was saying that as a joke, but it's true, right? When they break up with you or you break up, they're going to go date someone else, right? So sounds like you're a lot like me, dude. You're a good dude. You're a loving, caring, and loyal man to the woman you're dating. But she just doesn't seem to appreciate that, right? And he goes, he comes at me and says, well, not all women are like that. Well, I was telling him, I've been a part of this community online called MGTOW, Men Going Their Own Way. And there's an acronym. Hold on a second. And there's an acronym that we use in the MGTOW community that's called NAWALT, N-A-W-A-L-T. I'm sorry, I'm moderating the chat as well. How have you helped them? What are you talking about? Cherry Giggles, are you asking me something, or are you asking the trolls in the chat something? Because I get a lot of trolls over here. So we just have to kind of deal with it. So yeah, there's an acronym called NAWALT, N-A-W-A-L-T. It stands for Not All Women Are Like That. And that's what this guy was saying. Devil's Queen says, I don't know these people, Eli. Well, look at their name. Do you see the one that says Tiggle Biddies? Okay. That's backwards for big old you know what. All right, and I know who that is, and I'm not going to give him the notoriety. I just banned him. Tig old biddies. I've even talked about these people all day. I haven't been on YouTube all day, and my trolls and haters just can't. They love me so much they can't get enough of me. They can't stop coming at me or talking about me. Now I'm assuming they talked about me today. I haven't watched any. The only thing I've watched on YouTube, well, nothing. It's this. The only thing I've done on YouTube is this. Well, Devil's Queen, when you say some look genuine, that's the point of a good troll. A good troll is going to try to make his or her fake account look genuine. But when they say tig old biddies, that's pretty obvious that they're a troll. Or all I want to do is zoom, 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 zoom in your boom, boom. All I want to do is zoom, 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 zoom in your boom, boom. I know who that is. Come on, dude. You haven't had enough yet? The only legitimate person that's been here tonight besides you and Colin Butters is Cherry Giggles. That's it. It's all good. It's all good. So anyway, yeah, this guy was saying, not all women are like that though, man. I said, well, dude, let me tell you something. I really wish not all women were like that. And I'm not saying that every single woman is like that, but the majority are. And it's very, very, very difficult and rare to find a NAWALT, a not all women are like that type of woman in the modern world. And, I furthermore told him, I said, look, he's saying, well, why would she come at me this way? I said, dude, it had nothing to do with you. Women are insecure, naturally. Women are insecure. They require a lot of validation. And, they have a reproductive system. And, when it comes closer to that time of the month and they go through PMS, it throws their hormones out of whack. I'm sitting here and I really wanted to be there for this guy and just help him out because I'm a coach. I wanted to help him out because, he's a part of my community. And if I can, take 10 minutes of my time when I have free time to help a brother out, I'm going to do it. Man, the time of Ramadan and close to the new moon. Yeah. So, again, I told him, I said, look, dude, it doesn't matter if you do everything right. You can do everything right. Be a good guy. I mean, this guy, he's like 6'2", about 180, 190, great shape. He's a nice black guy. He's very clean, hygienic. He's cool. Like, he's not a suck up, but he's not a jerk. He's like a cocky, funny kind of guy like me, just cocky, playful, funny, like a normal, well-balanced dude. And I said, dude, sometimes you can do everything right and it just isn't good for some people and some women. And I said, additionally, what you're dealing with nowadays, bro, is the fact that women are working and they've been liberated. No disrespect. I mean, I'm all for women having equal rights and working, but it has affected male and female relationship dynamics. And this dude was like intently listening, right? Because he had never heard anyone talk about it this way. See, a lot of people don't understand what's really going on in the modern world. If I had to say the one good thing about going through what I went through over the last 3 years of getting heavily trolled and being a part of that crazy MGTOW, men going their own way community, I learned a lot more about female nature. And I'm very grateful and thankful for that. I'm very grateful and thankful for that. So, I said, look, man, I said, you have a couple choices. You can put up with it and, try to have a conversation with her and try to be reasonable with her. And if she's reasonable with you more than being unreasonable, then, continue to try to work it out. But if every attempt of reasoning you make fails with her, then you're spinning your wheels. And you're basically going to go insane. The definition of insanity states doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? And then you never get that result. At some point, you have to realize it's never going to change, right? You know what I mean? I need some WO. What's WO? Can you be a little more specific, please, Jennifer Devil's Queen? WO. That's pretty much what I told him. I said, it's very hard to find a good woman nowadays. That's why I'm single. And that's the truth. And again, before I left, as I was about to walk out, he was saying, it's just not fair, man. You help these people, you help women get somewhere. Like I've helped her get somewhere and she doesn't even appreciate that. I'm like, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Some people are not raised that way, man. I told him I was raised by, two Greek Orthodox parents that raised me with morals, values, and ethics. Some people have not been fortunate enough to have a good upbringing. And you may just have to let her go. Even though, she's the mother of your child. If I was you, I'd try to get 50-50 custody. I'd try to, stay in your child's life as much as possible. But from what you've said here, it doesn't seem like she's a reasonable woman to want to work it out. That's pretty sad. And he said, yeah, I'm just tired of, helping her get back on her feet over and over again. And then she kicks me to the curb. I'm like, that's normal nowadays. You see, when I left the gas station, I was starting to think, this is the topic I'm going to do tonight. Men have always been fixers, and modern day women don't appreciate this. The reason why they don't appreciate this is because of the way the modern world is. Because back in the days, like I said, of traditionalism, women looked up to a man for everything. Their emotional strength, their physical strength. Okay, if something was broken, they'd say, hey, babe, can you fix this for me? Heck, my ex-girlfriend, Dana. Hey, babe, my TV's not working. Can you fix it? Sure, babe. On my way, right? I go there, takes me literally 30 seconds to fix the damn TV, and she goes, that's all it took for you to fix it? Yeah, it was one button. Boy, I feel stupid, babe. No, babe, don't worry about it. Like in my head, I'm laughing, right? The only reason why I was laughing is because women have come a long way, right? And she's a modern woman. She was a modern woman too, but she was a good woman. Don't get me wrong. She's one of the rare gems, right? But she's still a modern woman, right? And she still had the attitude like I can do everything myself, but she still wants a good guy in her life. She never came at me in a feminist way, but she's always wanted to take care of things herself. So women have always looked up to men to fix their emotional problems, to fix any, household items or products. Back in the days after automobiles first came out, men would always fix the cars, right? If the wife's car or the girlfriend's car had an issue, they'd say, "Hey, babe, my car's not running right." "Oh, babe, let me take a look at it for you." "All right, here's your problem. You need a new, starter, or you need more air on your tire in one of your tires, or you need new brake pads," right? To a woman, it's like speaking a foreign language. To a man, it's like, we love that shit. That's what we do. We were put on this planet to fix things. That's what we do. That is what makes us a man. We love to fix things, right? We were biologically created to be fixers, right? So in the modern world where men are still being true to themselves, I'm not saying all men are like this. There are some men out there, especially the millennials and beyond, that need a lot of help with women. Those guys are more like men that are behaving like women. They're very immature and insecure men, and they whine and complain more than women do. So we call those men, the PUSSY word, right? That's why you hear men being called that, when they act more feminine than masculine. But yeah, men have always been the fixers. And in the modern world, we still have it in our genes and within our biology that when we're with a woman, we want to protect her. We want to, help solve any issues she may have that we know we can fix. Like any technology type of things, my exes would always come to me. They didn't know a damn thing about technology. All they wanted to do is hit the power button and use the damn thing. When the TV would break down, "Hey, babe, can you fix it?" "Sure, yeah, just restart the receiver." "I don't know how to do that." "Well, you unplug the damn thing for 15 seconds, plug it back in, wait for it to boot back up, and your TV works again, right?" And that's what us men like to do. Now, that's minimum or minimal, right? Here's where men get hurt and taken advantage of. It's when you start doing things above and beyond that to help your woman that you're currently with. Now, I have nothing bad to say about my ex, Dana, and I'm not even criticizing any of my other exes, but I even helped her restart her daycare business. She was about to lose it all after her divorce because she got screwed by her husband, screwed over, and she almost had to move back in with her parents. And I said, "You know what? Let me help you find a place where you can restart your business. Let's make the impossible happen." She goes, "It's never going to happen. I'm just going to succumb to the fact that I'm going to have to move back home for a year or two, save some money, and get things back on my feet." And I told her, I said, "You know what? That's not the type of woman that I signed up for to date. I know you're better than that." And guess what happened? She got a place. She got her business back up and going. And she tripled her income and took a situation that almost basically bankrupted her out of her control. It wasn't her fault. Trust me, I'd be the first dude to come out and say the woman's at fault if she was at fault, because I'm a man. That's what we do, right? But I'm an honest dude. It wasn't her fault. She almost lost it all. And I helped her. In essence, I was the fixer. Now, I'm not going to take credit for the work she did, But I motivated her and I supported her emotionally and mentally and physically, right? And let me tell you how big it is to have that emotional support during that time. It allows you to keep moving forward and stay focused to solve the issue. I've helped many exes in the past get through the impossible. Many of my exes almost went bankrupt or lost it all. I seem to attract women that are at a low point in their life. Now, I'm not saying my ex Dana was. Dana has a great family. She's a good woman. She's the exception, okay? But the majority of the other women I've dated in the past, I seem to have come across these women when they were at a low point in their life, where they knew they had about 3 to 6 months worth of savings or income before they were about to lose everything unless something drastic changed, right? And in every one of those situations, it was always my natural desire to help them prevent that from happening, to be the fixer. I'm a man. I'm a man that is naturally protective of women in a good way, not a bad way, not in a controlling way. I'm not a control freak. I'm not a desperate control freak type of guy. But that is natural biology for a normal, reasonable, sane, down-to-earth man to be the protector. I was born and raised with traditional values, which have, for the most part, gone out the door, gone out the window in the modern world. But it's funny at the same time how all of these things from the past still apply in the modern world. And how many reasonable men still want to have the relationships and marriages that were happening before women were liberated, right? There are still some good dudes out there that really want that, but they're struggling to understand what's happened with women. Why are women behaving this way, right? Well, women are naturally more emotional, period. But you take their, already heightened normal emotions, and then you throw in feminism and radical feminism and women being liberated and women not working and now women having to fend for themselves, right? So instead of just you as a man going to work 8-10 hours a day, commuting and doing all that, now anyone you're dating is doing that, right? So you both are working, and then after your work day ends, you're too tired to hang out, right? And then maybe you spend a little time on the weekends, right? But what if, every other weekend, you have other obligations where you can't see your other half? Like, it's gotten to the point of where people are even too busy to date anymore, right? The world's become so crazy busy now because of this. And it's sad because more and more marriages and relationships are failing because of this, and a lot of people don't understand it. Jennifer, I gotta thank you. You're a phenomenal, phenomenal moderator. And because you have insomnia and you have something to do right now, it's keeping you occupied, huh? Huh, Jen? Wow. Wow. I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 to 10 minutes, folks. There's nothing wrong, even for a strong, confident, alpha male type of man, to feel like he wants to be the fixer in his relationship, like he wants to be the protector in his relationship, like he wants to be the provider in his relationship. I miss Queen. What do you mean? Are you talking about Queen Helen Casey? Because you're the devil's queen. Are you saying that you wish Queen Helen Casey was here so she can moderate the chat? And that way you can just kick back? What would you like, Jennifer? Let me know. I'm sure Queen will catch the replay tomorrow, and so will the rest of them. Well, not tomorrow, later today. It's 6:12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3:12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Yeah, I'm just saddened by this whole thing because all the time, wherever I go, when I talk with other guys around my area, yes, she's faster than me. Well, she just bans everyone. I'm just kidding. Queen, we all have a lot of love for you. Anyway, like I was saying, it's really sad for me to talk with different young guys that are good guys that just want to have a loving, caring, faithful relationship with a woman that they've been going back and forth with. And they're struggling to figure out why their woman is behaving that way. And I try to explain it to them as quickly as possible, if I'm, at a restaurant or somewhere, or, talking to a checker at a check stand, I got to give the synopsis version. But it's happening everywhere, folks. Like, there's an epidemic out there that has really affected us. And I'm not saying anything negative about women having equal rights. Women should have equal rights. They should be able to do whatever they want to do. But the epidemic is radical feminism where, some women not only wanted to get equal rights, they also wanted special privileges above and beyond things that men never had rights to do. And women have gotten those special privileges. Now, those special privileges obviously are unwritten, right? But what happens when you go into a court of law and you're going through a divorce hearing, right? Typically, more often than not, who gets the kids? Who gets more custody or sole custody of the kids? And who is the lucky one if they even get visitation rights, right? Because the law, any law, is going to be subjective to how that particular judge handles the law, right? Just because the law is the law doesn't mean the judge you get to preside your case is going to apply the law in the way it was meant to be. That's why you always hear people say it depends on the judge that you get. If you get the right judge to preside your case, then you have a greater chance of having a fair hearing, right? Or a fair court case or trial or whatever. If you get the wrong judge, what if you get a judge that is a feminist, right? The law should not be subjective to how the judge, hands down, the decision or if it's a criminal case, a sentence. The law should be the law. Plain and simple. There's nothing wrong with being a fixer. There's nothing wrong with wanting to take care of a woman. There's nothing wrong with wanting to fall in love. Again, if you look at this picture back here of this woman, okay, let me come over on the other side here. Okay, you might be able to see a little bit better. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm looking at the meter on my OBS and it's still coming through fine. Okay? This woman is just sitting at the end of the dock by a body of water. Could be a lake, could be a whatever, right? She's sitting there peacefully, right? Probably thinking about, like I said earlier, thinking about if Prince Charming is going to sweep me off my feet one day, right? Let me tell you the kind of guy that I am. The kind of guy that I am would be the kind of guy that would want to be sitting there next to her, or whoever woman may be. She's just the one in the example here. Hang on one second. All right, sorry about that. I had to clear my throat for a second. Had to mute. But yeah, I'm the kind of guy that would love to be sitting on that dock, having a great woman like this woman could be. I assume she's a good woman. Looks like she takes care of herself. Okay? Having that woman that put your arm around her, she could put her arm around you, and you sit out there for an hour, have a great conversation, maybe have a picnic there, right? Maybe this is a dock that's, part of a hike. Maybe, there's a hiking trail nearby. It's the kind of guy that I am. I'm not saying this to be angry or bitter. I'm not angry or bitter at all. I've had my time of being angry and bitter at women. That happened to me in my late 20s, early 30s. At the time I hit my 40s, I had already gone through that stage where, I can't stand women and I don't want another woman. I don't want to go through their breakup, right? I've gone through that. So I'm not being angry and bitter. I'm just out here to state the facts. I'm here to just say it as it is. And people are just not, they're just not talking enough about this nowadays. And you know what? All of these groups that women belong to, all of these, groups about feminism and women's empowerment groups, right? And I've seen many of them here in Northern California where I live. And when I used to do in-person networking, I used to go to some of these, women empowerment events. I knew these people. Like, they don't talk about, they don't talk about how relationships are nowadays and why relationships are failing. They don't talk about the fact that, men are having a hard time understanding women because women are just not being the way they were biologically made to be anymore. I'm not saying completely that way, but women have changed tremendously. And what I've said in the past, it's almost kind of like we're trying to create an artificial way for women to live just to give them equal rights. No problem that women have equal rights. No problem that women get equal pay for equal work, as long as they're qualified for the job in the same ways the man would need to be qualified to get the job, right? Because if we made special exceptions and made the qualifications lower for a woman just because she's a woman, then in essence, you're discriminating against men, right? Collins Trivia, I've been there, done that, wore that wore the t-shirt twice, so I'm going to stay single for a while. I don't blame you, dude. I don't. Like, I'll tell you. Let me tell you, lately, it's very difficult to catch a woman's attention and keep it today. No matter how good looking you are, no matter how good of a guy you are, no matter how much charm you have, no matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter. Like, women nowadays they've become incredibly picky. They've all become incredibly picky, and they all have a short attention span. And, if you talk with a woman and she, shows interest, right? Let's say you meet her on Match.com or somewhere, right? And you send a few messages, you have one phone conversation. If you don't meet her right away, she's going to be off talking to 3 or 4 other people. And next thing you know, the next day comes, she'll say, yeah, let's talk more tomorrow and meet this weekend, right? Right? So then, you know what I say in those situations? I say, look, okay, send me a text tomorrow when you're free to talk, and then we'll talk. Now, the reason why I tell them to send me a text is because if they're truly interested in me compared to everyone else, they'll send me that text. When they don't send me that text, okay, it means that they really weren't that interested. It means that I'm now a back burner guy being put on the back burner because there are 1 or 2 other guys that she feels more attracted to and wants a chance with, but just in case it doesn't work out with them, she wants to have you in backup status, right? I'm biologically woman, but raised by real men. Yeah, no, I know. Oh yeah, I know that. You're a strong woman, Jennifer, but you're a feminine woman, but you're strong too. You know how to balance it. You know what I mean? You know how to balance it. And that's a good thing. It's a great thing. Even women, and this is with no disrespect, women come in all shapes and sizes, so do men, right? And I'm not going to talk about what's healthy and what's not in this example. But what I'm going to say is that even women out there that are considered more heavy set or full figured or BBW, let's be professional and use the terms that they use online. A little extra. BBW, big beautiful woman. Full figured, right? Heavy set, right? Okay? Even those women right there, back in the days, the larger and lovelier ladies, we'll just call them that, would give the time of day to any guy, right? But nowadays, even those women are extremely picky. In many cases, more picky than the women that are considered more attractive according to society standards, right? The epidemic I've seen that has happened because of radical feminism, and maybe also because of just women being liberated. Now, again, women should be liberated. They should be able to do whatever they want to do. I can understand that. Okay, I can understand that women did not want to be oppressed anymore, and that's fine. But because of that, look what's happened to our world. Look at the numbers of divorce since women were liberated. The divorce rate here in the U.S. is close to 60%. That means more than 1 out of every 2 marriages is going to end up in divorce at some point. Now, how many people go through breakups more often nowadays? How many people never get married but go through 5 or 10 or 15 relationships in their life or more? Why is that? Why can't people find each other and stick together? Why? Why can't they just work through everything in the way that life was meant to be? Why? Because dating and sex and all that have become more of a recreational sport than for procreation and having a great life with somebody and having the family life. The Devil's Queen says, we are like that flippy floppy when we are not interested at all with the guy. Well, Devil's Queen, let me ask you this. If you're not interested in the guy, I'm not saying you, but for other women, but maybe it's you at times as well. If you women have no interest in a guy, why can't you come out and say, hey, dude, I know you're trying to hit on me. I'm not interested. Move on, right? Because when you don't say that, guys will keep trying until you say no. Some guys will keep buzzing in your ear like a fly until you say no. Now, I understand why women don't come out at times and say something like that because they don't want to be rude and they don't want to hurt your feelings. Even modern day women nowadays that are not interested in you, if you try to ask them out, they try to tell you in the most polite way possible. They try to give you the hint that, well, I'm pretty busy right now, or, I'm working for the next 2 weeks, and, we can touch base in 2 weeks and I'll let you know my schedule at that point. Dude, if a woman is interested in you, she will want to meet you right away. The bottom line is, if a woman is interested in you, she will want to spend time with you right away. The moment I ever hear one little excuse from a woman about meeting, especially if it takes longer than a few days or a week, from the online world, for example, I write them off. Devil's Queen says, some bigger women look for more long-term than one night stands. Well, some women in general, of course, but where are they? There are far fewer women like that nowadays because of everything I've been discussing here tonight or this morning. The Devil's Queen, we never know if that man will be the one later on in life. So in essence, you're saying what I was saying, Jennifer, the Devil's Queen. You want to keep that guy on the back burner. Right now, you're kind of like talking with somebody else, more interested in somebody else, but you're going to kind of string him along a little bit, right? To keep him on the back burner. At the same time, he keeps coming at you because you're showing a little bit of interest instead of just saying, hey, dude, right now is not a good time. Maybe down the road, if you're single, I'm single, we could try at that point. But right now, I just don't have the time. I'm not interested. You see what I'm saying? Collins Trivia says, some women I tried to ask out in the past, they just came out with, sorry, I'm not interested. So my reply was okay, and I moved on. That's great. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Sorry, I'm not interested. Very polite, cordial, to the point. And it'll get us confident dudes to stop pursuing, right? Because to a certain extent, initially, a man has to pursue to get a woman. That's just normal. Now, once you get the date and you start seeing her, then you got to back off and let her pursue you, or else then you come off weak, needy, desperate, insecure, and then she'll fall in love with you because she'll sense you as being weak and desperate, needy, insecure, etc. Right? So, anyway, I think I've made my point here tonight. Men, how do I say this the right way before I wrap up? Despite the times we're living in the past or in the present, men have always had a biological purpose and desire to fix things. We're fixers. We build shit. We make things happen. I'm not saying that women don't make things happen or shouldn't make things happen, but that's not the way that biologically men and women were initially created to be, or created to be in general. That's the way God made men and women. What we've done nowadays with the feminist movement, which needed to be done to a certain extent, is we've given women equal rights. We've also given women rights to do things that most of them don't even like doing or enjoy doing, right? In essence, we're basically trying to artificially change the way women have been biologically from the inception of human beings. Look, I'm all for women having equal rights. I'm all for women doing whatever they want to do. If you want to be a bodybuilder and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, God bless you, right? But if you think I'm be attracted to want to be with a woman that looks like a man, I'm sorry, that's just not me. But if that's what you want to do, no problem. Do what you got to do. It's just not for me. I'm not physically attracted to that or mentally or emotionally attracted to that. It doesn't work for me. I want to be with a feminine woman. I love feminine women. I love women that are sweet, loving, nurturing, and more submissive than dominant. I'm not saying I don't want to be with a woman that's not dominant at all, but I want to be with a woman that I'd say 70% of the time she's submissive and maybe 30% she's dominant. That's normal, right? I don't want to be with a woman that acts like a man. And many women nowadays act like men. They do. And in many cases, they have to act like men because whatever job they're working requires them to exude more masculine energy than feminine energy. But again, the thing that saddens me the most about this whole thing is the fact that in today's day and age right now, and we're living this right this very moment, the women you're seeing out there that are behaving in the ways of the woman I was talking about earlier, which is the mother of this gas station attendant's child. The women like that are basically not behaving the natural way that their biology made them to be. They are behaving in artificial ways because they've been indoctrinated into a culture of that. We all know what that culture is. It's true. I'm saddened by it because when I was growing up in my 20s and up until my early 30s or maybe mid 30s, it was much easier to find good women. And I will tell you what I've noticed the last 10, 11 years of my life, maybe 15, it's been much more difficult. And each and every year, it continues to get worse. And I just have a feeling it's going to keep on getting worse before it gets better again. At some point, even women are going to have enough of living this lifestyle, living in a world where the divorce rate's 60%, right? Or at least here in the U.S. And they're going to say enough's enough. Let's go back to the way things were. Now, I doubt that will ever happen. And if it ever does, it won't happen in my lifetime. And if it even did happen, it would probably take hundreds of years before people started to realize, how much this is really hurting us from a biological and natural standpoint. Everything that we're living nowadays, folks, in my opinion, is artificial. It's sad. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this stream tonight at 1 hour and 35 minutes. Before I go, let me read a few more chat messages from the Devil's Queen, Jennifer. Let me read We never know if that man will be the one later in life. That's the last message I read from her. Collins trivia. Some women I tried to ask out in the past, they just came. Okay, I already read that. Devil's Queen. It's like you got to kiss the frogs before you find your prince. Well, you got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince nowadays. And it's the same thing on the flip side for men, you know. Collins trivia, and some say you're not my type. A lot of them say that. Like you could be you could be the best looking guy in the world. Some women have come up to me and said, "Well, you're a good looking guy. You're just not my type." Okay, can you explain what that means? I started to ask them, right? Like look, I want to know. And see, you don't want to tell me because you feel bad enough having to reject me, right? So now when women say, I'm sorry, you're a good-looking guy, but you're not my type. Okay, can you please elaborate on that? Well, you know, I just don't see us having a future together. Well, can you explain to me why? Now, I'm not a desperate, needy guy. I already know the answer. The reason why I ask those women is I want to see if they have the balls to come out and reject me fully and honestly rather than just saying you're not my type. That's a bullshit answer. It's an easy way out, right? And see, if it wasn't for feminism, I wouldn't care about getting an answer like that. But see, women now want equal rights, right? So if you're equal to men now, you women no longer get a free pass just saying, you know, you're just not my type, or I just, you know, don't feel it. I want to know why you don't feel it. You think I'm an ugly guy? You think I'm an asshole? You think I'm a broke-ass loser? I want you to spell it out for me in plain English. Because the moment you got equal rights is the moment where I'm going to come to you now and say, hey, look, I don't want the beat around the bush answer anymore. I want a direct answer. I want to know, hey, I accept the fact you don't want to be with me. You don't want to date me because you say I'm not your type. But can you give me a little more detail? Can you be a little more specific so I can learn and better myself? That's what I've told some women. Now, I say it because I'm curious to see how they're going to respond. I kind of mess with them because I know their answer is bullshit. But you know what I'm saying. I'm a frog, Devil's Queen, but I'm still a frog and not a prince. Devil's Queen says, LOL. Collins trivia. In my life, I kissed 3 women passionately, but I haven't turned into Prince Charming yet, LOL. Your time will come at some point, Colin. The Devil's Queen. My ex-fiancé wasn't my type the first year of knowing him, but eventually he became my type. Well, that can happen at times. That happens to people. Sometimes you start dating someone that you really weren't that attracted to initially, and then you get to love who they are as a person, and they become more attractive on the outside afterwards. It happens. You just don't know it's going to happen. That's why you got to take chances. But anyway, folks, it is 6:40 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3:40 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'm going to get on out of here, get some rest, and I'll be back later today. I'm probably going to do a Walking with Purpose stream later today, and then an in-studio stream at night. To the moderators out there, whether you watch this on the replay or you're here live, if you want to do a panel show tomorrow night, let me know. If you have any topic ideas, let me know. If not, I'll come up with one, and we're going to keep moving forward, all right? I want to thank everyone that was here in the chat. Thank you to all the moderators. Devil's Queen, Jennifer, thank you for being here. Collins Trivia, a.k.a. Colin Butters, thank you for being here. And thank you to everyone else that was listening behind the scenes. We're leaving 21 in the box. And this show's been going on now. It just turned to 1 hour and 40 minutes. Well, it's about to turn there. 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's all good. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. We're out. You're welcome, says Devil's Queen.